And I will always have so much gratitude for Coach Gibbs for when we weren't good at Riverdale, inviting me over to watch practice when they were in the playoffs and we weren't. And
yeah,
what did he do? I mean, like, okay, so it's Reed, whoever the kid was, a quarterback, and then the kid would stand his movement and distribute on the run out wide, which was just a pitch.
Yep.
And accurately, and then we get your double options now. So we want to call them key screens. All right. That may be give or just distribute. All right.
Right.
So I think you see more double options than anything else.
Yes, you do.
It would go in this order, David. It would go distributions, like just do that, right? Just do that, like counter, just do that. All right. Look at Parseghian Valley. Look at Old Japan. They run counter.
Yep.
Then they run quarterback counter. Then they run counter and they read the backside. That's a lot of offense when you start distributing the ball too. Those are all good things. But, Coach Weigel running the offense over at Parseghian Valley, Coach Dunn over at Old Japan, right? They do their own part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the game's gotten really cool. You see Joe running every time Joe Klaus's biggest thing is he got everybody believing he's in the odd stack all the time.
All right? Of course. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, sure, we're in the odd stack, right? But again, good coaches can jump into bear. Good coaches can be in the odd stack with different
multiple all over the place.
But different personnel in the same front.
Yep.
I mean, Joe's one of the best I've ever seen at that. Like, okay, this kid can two gap. He had a kid at Dumont when I first started coaching. He had him playing in the gap and rolling. He's a heavy.
He referenced Dumont the other day. He said he was talking about Dumont when he was there.
Again, he had a chance to be there and fail, and nobody cared. And he had a great mentor in Jimmy Davidson who helped him develop. It's hard to find those guys. So I think that's really what we're talking about here. So when everybody's mind spins, I know David talks about his son as a football player. Who do you want to have the ball in the hands of?
Yep.
A guy that can make great plays. Is that better than a guy that can distribute? The answer to both is yes.
Yeah, everything depends, right, on what
100%.
What your personnel is around them too, right? Like, who do you have? I always say, like, if you're gonna have a dual threat quarterback, okay, I get in this argument all because UConn has this dilemma. Okay, they have a quarterback that's a distributor, throws, okay, and then they have a quarterback that's quote unquote dual threat, and we have on this pot, UConn's had a lot of good running backs under the Edsel era. So we've had it on Todman, a few of the guys all were in the pros. And I said, my very fundamental question to the head coach is, when you're choosing a quarterback, if between a dual threat and the drop back, my question is on the dual threat. Is the dual threat a better runner than if you hand the ball to your running back or throw it to your receiver? If the answer is no, then you're better off with the guy who can throw the ball. Now, if you asked me this 20 years ago, because I've always been an option, I love option. But what I kind of, one of the things I've seen with so many different teams is they try to force the dual threat. You know what I mean? They try to force it. And now you got a guy carrying the ball 8-10 times, even if it's 8-10 times, who is not as good as the guy if you turned around and handed it to him.